What is up, everybody? CG is back in the building with the host and the group called the 49ers Round Check, and we got my boy Niner Game Podcast, Dion, and we got my boy 49er King, Antonio, in the building, and we got the OG Moses that knows DBs. What's up, everybody? And our dear Melissa will be here shortly.
What's going on?
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, you guys?
How's it going, guys? So let's recap those two preseason games and let's see what stood out to you guys. You go first, Dion.
Yeah.
2 preseason games in the books. 2 dubs. That's always a good thing. And for me, what I saw was I saw a meme online that said when your quarterback throws the ball more than 20 yards down the field, and they showed the Trey Lance bomb to Danny Gray. And I loved every second of it. First game was fantastic. Every quarterback had a touchdown. And Brock Purdy actually had a 2-point conversion. So that's actually not a negative thing. The second game. So the first game for me, number one thing that stands out was the bomb to Danny Gray. That tells me that we're going to have lots of that this season. You know, when we get some good competition and we get right. The other thing that I saw was throughout the first game, Sam Womack, man. His interceptions were the type of interceptions you want to see from a defensive back because they were contested. First, he rips the ball out of the receiver's hands and comes down with it. The next one, he just runs the route and times the jump perfectly to be able to intercept the ball. You know what I'm saying? So those things were great. Kinlaw looks fantastic. His bull rush is just flat out disgusting. Like any offensive lineman in the league that has to go against that young man and have to deal with his bull rush, you can forget it, man. You're going to get pushed right into the quarterback. The thing that I didn't like in the second game was the fact that we didn't see a receiver 3 stand out. Lots of drops. No one really stuck out from the receiving crew. Everybody kind of seemed to fall in line and just, be in lockstep with being mediocre. It was a little bit of a mix between Sudfeld and Brock Purdy, which it was cool. But, what's going on, Bird Gang? It was cool, but, you kind of expected that. They didn't want Lance playing in this pass game anyway. The joint practices between the Vikings and the 49ers went pretty well. It looks like the Vikings won the first day, and the 49ers just destroyed on the second day. We lived in their backfield. I think somebody said about 5 or 6 sacks from a technical standpoint. The beauty of this preseason so far has been the turnovers. We've got, I think, like 6 turnovers, and that's a beautiful thing. We just got to make sure that we convert on those turnovers. The last thing that I'll say as far as that's concerned is Minnesota. Y'all need to get some better commentators, bro. Y'all commentators were hella salty. They were crying the whole game. Well, you can come in here and do the gritty. Why would you do that? Well, yeah, we're supposed to come in and disrespect your team. That's what we do. Like, this is not a – like at the end of the day, sportsmanship goes out the window. When I'm kicking your ass, I'm kicking your ass. Like, it is what it is. And that's what the 49ers did. Every time we made a play, we scored a touchdown, or, when Javon Kinlaw got his sack, they were upset. And it's like, rightfully so, be upset, but at the same time, like, don't be so salty that you think people ain't finna come to your house and do the gritty, especially when they score and when they win. So those are just a couple of things I saw. I like the interception by Marcelino McCrary Ball. Very long-winded guy when it comes to his interviews. They probably shouldn't have him do too many of those because he'll talk and talk. But those are the things that I saw. Everything else looked good. Definitely looking forward to the season.
All right, man. So as far as like looking into the preseason, Samuel Womack stood out to me. Those awareness plays, that's what we're looking for that nickel spot. But what really stood out to me was Spencer Burford for those 2 preseason games. He's kind of shown signs that he's going to be a starter at that position. I've seen enough of Trey Lance. I think I'm getting an idea of what we're going to get in this offense. Every running back has performed except Trey Sermon. But if you guys are right about those arguments, maybe those holes are just not all the way there. I'm hopeful with this guy, but it's like, dude, if you're not performing like those other running backs, then dude, sometimes you got to be the odd man out. But when I look at the defensive line is solid, bro. It's like the line is like, dude, Drake Jackson gets better. You look at the rest of the guys on the defense, bro, I feel like we got the depth to make up for it. The secondary, it's not much of a concern like last year. Receiving depth, I think it's a lot better than last year. We don't have to rely on those other receivers anymore. We got some other guys who can step in and play well. Like Danny Gray, for example, he can make a big play. Ray McLeod, he is kind of a gadget player, but he just needs to work on ball security, which that's my only issue with him. Malik Turner and Willie Snead have a case for that 6th spot, but I think people are saying it's Malik Turner. We'll see. But Antonio, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I got a little source said that Spencer Buford is looking like a 5-year vet. That's the good news. You know, we need him for that interior. You know, it's a good draft pick right there. And Trey Sermon, like, yeah, he might not even make the team, man, because Jordan Mason, he's pushing him for that 3rd running back spot, man. On the real Jordan Mason, I saw him look. He's baby Marshawn Lynch right there. Yeah,
that's what they compare him to. And his college coach compared him to that. I looked at an article and then I seen it from Jordan Elliott that even said something about his coach compares him to Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, man, the way he runs, low center of gravity to the ground, like, man, he can break tackles. I just like what I see from him. So, like I said, we got good depth right there. So, and also when we were doing DBs, somebody said Samuel Womack's gonna be that guy. Who was that again? Oh yeah, it was
Womack attack.
Womack attack and pat myself on the back. So, yeah, snatch that ball. Like, give me this ball. Like, he was the receiver, man. And then you got a Freak Hill. He tweeted, he was like, this number 26 guy, you know, pretty damn good. And this is Tyreek the Freak Hill, man. So, like, Samuel Womack, he's been doing excellent, man. He gonna be like a dominant slot guy that we need, man. We need him, especially because we got to guard Cooper Kupp. Like, on the real, man. And he's gonna be that equalizer for him, man. He's gonna be that, I don't want to say lockdown guy, but he's gonna be pretty close to it, man. He's gonna be a playmaker. He's gonna make a couple of knockdowns every game. He's gonna get his hands on the ball, man. He can be a better cover version of Trevon Diggs, you know, as far as like getting picks but actually covering well. I think he can be that guy. So, and also Danny Gray, like that deep pass, I just love it, man. He's gonna be that 3rd guy himself. And he's going to take the top off the defense. And that's going to open it up even more for Brandon Ayuk, for Deebo Samuel. You know what I'm saying? So, and Kittle. So, we're going to be dangerous freaking team, man. Drake Jackson and Nick Bosa on the edges, just clamping down, making the DBs look even better. Their pressure will lead to lots of picks. You know, I mean, that's my opinion on that. So, everything else, I love the way this team looks, man. Everybody's just moving fast, playing physical. You know, roughing up Adam Thielen and what the joint practices, he's getting frustrated. Adam Thielen, that's a Pro Bowl player right there, man. So the Niners went physical with that man in practice. So I'm just loving it, man. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Really quick, CG and 49er King, y'all might be a little too young for this, but OG, you know who Bobby Womack is now.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So whenever Womack gets an interception, that's what I say. If you think you're lonely now, wait until Womack intercepts. Like, man, like, you just gotta give it to him, man. That's gonna be the thing I'm gonna say every time he gets a pick. I just think the young kid has a lot to offer, and I hope that he continues to build on it. I'm like you. I want the consistency, but hey, man, like I said, those are the perfect interceptions, snatching the ball away, running with the receiver, staying right on his hip, making a play on the ball right when it comes to you. Like, that's the the beauty of it. You have to have that door wide open to be able to make the proper plays. It's never negative when you're an opportunistic guy. I'm not knocking anyone who's in the right place at the right time and gets the pick. But when you see interceptions like that, as a person who loves defensive backs, that excites me.
Yeah, it does.
Oh
He's
yeah,
got
definitely.
speed and his long arms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah, definitely. These past two preseason games, the one that jumped out at me the first game was Drake Jackson. I mean, I see a lot of promise in him, and I have to give it up to Womack. Those two interceptions, yeah, he was in perfect position, and the way he ripped the ball away from that Green Bay receiver, man, that's what you want to do as a defensive back. If you know you can't get to the ball, rip it out if you have to. That's exactly what he did. The second game, Womack did okay, but the one that jumped out at me, and I even messaged you, CG, was Lenore. He was
Yeah.
on that hip. He locked him up and played man to man, and that's what I've been hammering Lenore on. Be in that position, make the receiver earn that catch, not just give it up. And that trail position, I'm sorry, Dion, I cannot stand that trail position.
I know. I completely understand you on that. I know why you don't like it, and I don't like it either. But, at this point, for me, any type of progress for Diablo Lenore is a good thing because, last year he all but disappeared. And the crazy thing is he disappeared after he had an interception. Like, he just altogether stopped using it. And I'm like, how did you get a pick? And his pick, once again, contested. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you get those interceptions, that's the part that makes it a beautiful thing because you see the actual technique. You see them working hard and wanting to snatch that ball away.
Yeah, definitely. And also, too, this is what I've also hammered Lenore and Avery Thomas on. Don't run at the receiver, run with the receiver, hip to hip, lock him up. Also, too, on the negative side, Thomas did really disappoint me in that first game. I'll give you a perfect example. And Dion, you know what I'm talking about. How in the hell are you gonna let that receiver run up on you and make a illegal contact after 5 yards? This is the way I taught my boys. This is the way I was coached up. When you know the receiver is going to do that, and you'll know when the receiver is going to do that, Dion knows what I'm talking about. You kind of back off just a bit in case KTV starts streaking up the field or he goes inside. You back off a bit, and that's one thing Avery Thomas didn't do. He let the receiver put his hands on him, and what happened? Boom, that was it, and got illegal contact.
Yeah, and that's the sad part. Like, at a bare minimum, the one thing that's dead in the league is jamming the receiver. It's like a dead art. People don't use it anymore. And with the type of defense that the 49ers play, we're always playing off. So we play a lot of zone, play a lot of cover three, and it drives me insane because the minute we do play man, nobody jams anyone. And I'm sitting there looking like, is this such a cupcake league where you feel like you're going to get a flag if you put your hands on a dude? Technically speaking, I have 5 yards to make your life a living hell. And I should
definitely.
be doing that. You know what I'm saying? If you're a guy that I feel is going to be able to beat me up top because I know that I'm not going to be able to keep up with your speed, I'm going to stay on you, but I'm going to be on you hip to hip. And you know what I'm doing as I'm running with you? I'm slowly angling you toward that sideline. Because you know what? You can get deep all you want, but if you step outside, you can't be the first person to touch the ball. So if that ball comes to you, I can sit there and look and go, he's up bounds anyway. Let him catch that shit. He can run for a touchdown if you want to. But he can't touch the ball first. And when you have that type of skill, you can be smarter with it. And that's one thing that, some of the guys have to learn.
Yeah, definitely. Also, too, I gotta get up to Quintrus Knight. I mean, the second game here, he's showing me a lot. The only critique I have is when he comes on the blitz, he's got to have it doing this. Is tipping off that blitz. He needs to work on that.
Yeah.
I mean, versatility. He can play anywhere in those secondary spots, which I've heard about. But when you look at our cornerbacks, like the depth-wise, it's very deep. But what's your take on Tyreek Castrofield's Moses? I want to see some critique of this guy.
You know what? I think he's gotten a lot better than what the highlights I saw. I was keeping an eye on him, and one of the things he's gotten a lot better on the jam and going hip to hip with the receiver. I noticed that in the second game against the Vikings, is where he jammed the receiver and ran hip to hip. He did exactly everything correct. Versus the highlights that I saw, he wasn't doing that. So he's improved a lot. I could say That's one person that's improved on his technique.
I mean, there's some praise from Scott McLuhan that's talked about this guy, and he thinks this is our best draft pick. But I don't know. We got a pretty solid draft class this year, the way I'm looking at it. But secondary wise, I think we're pretty damn deep there. Safety, we just signed to Sean Gibson, which I want to see what Antonio's got to think of this, man. Give me your thoughts of the signing.
He was a Pro Bowl player in 2014 with the Browns. And so this guy, he showed some range in the past. And with the Jaguars, he was pretty damn good, man. When they went to the AFC title game, he was one of the starters out there. He played with Jalen Ramsey, Ngakwe, Miles Jack. He played with some excellent players on every unit. So, now with this team, he can possibly play with us, play with this talent. So it's going to be on, man. So, and he can teach Hufanga some tricks,
Yep.
For real, because he's the best safety, and that's going to be real important, man. And he can even teach your favorite Jimmy Ward some more tricks, Right, CG, your favorite? So I think good signing, low risk signing, high reward,
I definitely like to see what Dion's got to say, man. I know this was an interesting signing, right?
It was, and actually, I want to echo, King's sentiments. He was a good dude, and I think it's just sometimes you get lost in the sauce because you're a player who makes plays when other people around you make plays. Some people are like that. Some people don't need anyone around them to make plays, and some people do. So I think that's basically his thing. You have to look at the defensive line and look at the defense as a whole. We probably have the best front seven in the league. Think about it like this. Going back to what OG said, Drake Jackson, man, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you a name, and I know all of you know who this guy is. Ever heard of a guy named Dwight Freeney?
Oh, yeah. The spin move. The spin move right there.
Ever seen a nasty bend and flex like that of a guy?
No,
not since Dwight Freeney.
Yeah.
Dwight Freeney was the beast.
I'm telling you right now, this is the next Dwight fucking Freeney in Drake Jackson. I'm giving him that because his athleticism is just not to be rivaled. And the guy, put it like this. You got a four-man rush. You've got two linebackers that can cover in Greenlaw and in Fred Warner. So there's no hope going over the middle. You're fucked there. So the next thing you do is go, I'm going to throw to DBs. Well, there's a guy named Emmanuel Mosley. There's another guy named Charvarius Ward. Oh, and in the back, we got a guy named Hufanga and another guy named Jimmy Ward. So, yeah, you got a lot of work to do. Oh, and then if you want to go ahead and throw in the slot guy, we can possibly throw in Samuel Womack, Jason Verrett,
Pick your poison.
Diamador. Pick your poison. Think about it like this. The turnover should come, and we just need to make sure we capitalize. The biggest thing with us was we had certain turnovers, and we just weren't capitalizing on them. So when you get a turnover, you must make something out of nothing. If you get a turnover in the red zone, you take that shit all the way down the field and score. So that's what we have to do. So instead of us, like in the Seattle game with a certain quarterback not to be named, where we had 5 turnovers and he had 5 opportunities and he did not a goddamn thing, we have to take at least 3 out of those 5 and turn it into 6 and or 3 points. You see what I'm saying? If you score on turnovers, it makes you better because you start to see the weaknesses and you start to figure it out and you pinpoint it. I honestly believe that Drake Jackson is going to be the next Dwight Freeney because of the way that he plays and the athleticism that he brings, along with the fact that you have a monstrous line on the other side of you. You go right next to you, there's Eric Armstead. Oh, and then the other side of you, then there's Javon Kinlaw. Oh, and on the other side of you, there's this guy named Nick Bosa who was ranked number 25 on the top 100 list. So you got to think about it like this, man. You don't have anywhere to go. If you try to run outside, Bosa and Jackson have enough speed to catch you off that edge. If you try to go up the gut, good luck, because you have a monstrous mammoth of a human being in Javon Kinlaw Oh, and by the way, there's another dude named Eric Armstead who I've dubbed him now the silent assassin. He doesn't say much, but I anticipate he's going to be rubbing his belly a whole lot this year with that extra push that he gets from Kinlaw. Because if you think about it, there's only 5 offensive linemen. If you're doubling up on Bosa and Kinlaw, what are you doing about the other side of that line?
Leaving Jackson into the opportunity. Man.
You're leaving Jackson and Armstead within the arm's reach of your quarterback. And you have to think about Armstead. I know a lot is made about Brandon Ayuk's long-ass arms and even Samuel Womack. Armstead's got some long-ass arms too, along to go with the 6'7" frame. So if you think about it, I just got to get close enough to your quarterback I can reach over and snatch his ass if I wanted to. So these are things that offensive lines are going to have to think about. And did you see that picture? I mean, that video of Kinlaw and Epicon walking together?
Yeah, the respect for each other.
Yeah.
Nobody that big should have a 6-pack.
Oh, dude, Kinlaw's just unbelievable, dude. Like
Physical specimen.
That's insane. That should not be happening. For somebody that big to have almost a fucking 8, that's scary.
Oh, dude, and he dropped some weight too, and his knees feel better than ever. He's never felt that better since he could.
He said himself that he feels like you could feel his energy being like he's rejuvenated. That dude is rejuvenated, man. I'm tell you right now. I know it's a video game. I played him with Madden. 24.5 sacks people from the interior.
Ooh, yeah, that's Madden for sure. But when you look at the
guards and centers, there's no hope.
He dropped some weight too. That's the crazy part. He dropped a little. I think he went from 325 to 295 or something like that. But he's jacked, bro.
Hey, CG, you want to give a breakdown on that Kinlaw sack? Because I've never seen that move like that before from him.
Oh, the move.
Can you give a breakdown on that technique he used?
Oh, the one where he kind of just goes under and just rips in?
Yeah.
One of the plays, because he kind of just ragdolled him. He just used his one arm and just freaking pushed him aside and got to that quarterback.
Yeah,
it's like lifting, when they block, you just have to do that part and just swap them and then just push them out, dude. Like Kinlaw has that brute strength, bro. He has that strength to make up for it.
Yeah, he's go ahead.
One more thing about Womack. You are right, Dion. That length he has, his arm length, that played a large role in those interceptions. So I was impressed by that.
Hey, guess who's here, guys? She's here.
Hi,
we missed you.
In the building.
We finally had rain today, and of course, there's a lightning strike near my house that's been cooking the power in and out all day long. So finally, Alabama gave us the all clear.
No worries, but we were discussing those 2 recap games. I wanted to get your thoughts. We were going to get to you at this point, but give me your thoughts of those 2 preseason games of the 49ers and which player stood out to you.
McCrary Ball was one of them. I didn't expect much out of him. Jordan Mason. I really like the backup tight ends. What are their names? I think it's Haskins and
Hudson.
Fumagalli.
Oh, Fumagalli. Okay, yeah.
Oh, Hudson and Croft are pretty solid.
I liked Fumagalli and I think it was Haskins or Hawkins. I mixed it up with the TV.
He's a safety.
Hudson. It's Hudson. Oh, safety. Oh, the ball.
Safety. Tanner Hudson is the tight end.
That one, thank you, Dion.
And Croft is the other tight end.
I get the names mixed up a little bit. I really liked seeing Oren Burks. I mean, we got a couple different Packers, and they've done really well so far. And I'm glad that I got to see Josh Hockett one more time before he became Cardinal. So
he's gonna play tight end, by the way.
Yeah. Also, really quick, OG. So what he did was it was a stutter step, and then he just literally just right up like that.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Okay.
It was left.
It's like this, and then you go boom,
And when he went right, he basically did this,
and then pushed him.
He just literally
He
shoved
swapped them, bro. That's what I was taught as a defensive line coach. Sometimes you can try to outmove them, and then you just use your.
That was basically like a bitch slap. Like he just
like, get the fuck out of here.
And what really impressed me was the Talanoa Hufanga hit that just like shut up all the haters.
Yes.
Like we're saying he's too soft, he can't do coverage, he's not that good, he's too raw. Everyone's like pushing to various more, and then just Hufanga like shut everybody up with that one big hit.
I told everybody already.
Want to show that little film? Want to show that little film? Because I think I have it uploaded, man. I want to see. I'll show you. Let me see if I still got it, man. Because that hit was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
Okay, so
dude, that was a beautiful hit. I haven't seen a hit like that since Whitner, bro.
This is the.
No. I said Ronnie Lott.
I said he had that Hitler kind of energy when he did that hit.
Deshaun
And he yanked his head back to the side to make sure that there was like not even a remote chance of helmet to helmet called at all. And what was it, Tim Ryan that made the wrong call, saying it was on Hufanga, and then it was really on Demetrius Flanga foul, so we didn't even see what he did.
Yeah, because they gave a flag, but hey, I'm telling you, OG, that was like the perfect hit. He laid the hammer down. Like when he came down into that box, that running back thought he had a clear lane. Out of nowhere, all you just see is a bunch of hair and a lightning. Because he got up and was like,
"Did you see them do that on the sideline, Dion? You had what was it? Trent Williams, you had Fred Warner, and I think Armstead on the sideline doing it with him on the sideline.
Yeah, man, because that for the Tongan community, you know what I'm saying, and I'm telling you, man, like he laid a hit like no other. That was it was beautiful to watch for us, but I'm pretty sure that was painful for the person receiving it because that shit looked like it was horrendous, man. Like I've never seen where somebody just gets their world rocked to that extent. And then so yeah, I think Kinlaw's going to use that move throughout the season, that stutter step. That come up and then just.
You know what the best part about the whole presser was just how happy and jubilant he was, and he was just like,
"Oh yeah,
I get to be a kid again and run people over."
Yeah, I'm telling you, like you have no hope. Like I say this jokingly, but I mean it wholeheartedly. I always say, if I'm going down a dark alley, I'm a man. I can handle myself. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if I see somebody that fucking big like Javon, I'm going the other way.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question?
I ain't got no time for that.
Yeah.
Who do you want to see the most right now? Do you want to see Bosa and Armstead lined up on the same side, or do you want to see Javon Kinlaw and Nick Bosa on the same side? To me, I want to see Javon Kinlaw so bad because we didn't really get that. Like we got one game I think with the two of them playing, and then Bosa went right out in the Jets game.
When that line gels properly, it's going to be a thing of beauty to watch because there's not going to be any quarterbacks that are going to be safe when they're playing us. Like the front seven presents such a problem that the back end, all they have to do is just make their reads and jumps at the right time, and we'll have 3 or 4 interception games. The number one thing is, like I was saying earlier before you came on, is just to convert those into points. Whether it's 3 or 6, either way, that's all that really matters. And I think we're going to have a fantastic year when it comes to interceptions because we've had, a number of them in training camp. We have a number of them, in the preseason, and our defense just looks stellar. Like that was a defensive battle against the Vikings, honestly, for the most of the game. Like both teams' defenses were working, but we're going to be great.
Yeah, for sure. But let me see if this is the right film. Let me see if this is the right tone setter hit.
Back run, good one. Big hit by Talanoa Hufanga. He's going to get flagged for it, though. That's a helmet on.
That was beautiful.
I think that was Papa's voice. My bad.
Dude, that hit was tone setting right there, bro. I found it.
Hey, Dion, you know what that hit reminds me of? I don't know if you remember that Super Bowl when the Niners and Cincinnati Bengals played, that running line hit on Ickey Woods, that's what it reminded me of.
It's
Dude,
just
that hit was beautiful. Like,
some things in this.
it was legal, so you can't throw a flag for that.
That's correct. And there's some things in this world that should just be illegal. And that hit you're talking about should have been illegal because, like, you got the difference between then and now is the time. Because back in the day, you could lay somebody out. You really could put everything you had in and really rock somebody's world. And now you can't do that so much. You have to be smarter with your technique. That hit was picture perfect by Clubs because he hit him perfectly, no helmet to helmet, and that man literally fell backwards within time. I'm surprised he didn't get a concussion because he rocked his world. Like, there was no hope for that. You get hit like that, you
CJ,
got just to get up.
Hey, CJ,
what's going on, man?
Who was that question? Who was that question that dude asked me?
Oh, John Jay? He was asking about Womack. But you already answered it, unless you want to give some more detail.
Promising potential. The only thing I like to see is consistency now. I think he keep that consistent. I'll be sold in.
Yeah, but you just like that he get 2 picks, but you felt like he still has a little bit more to improve.
I like we never have to worry about his head being turned around, though.
Yeah,
he
definitely.
knows what a ball is, and he gets his head around automatically. And that's the number one thing you want as a DB because if you notice, a sorry-ass defensive back, you know what he's doing? He's playing a receiver.
Got to play the ball in the air.
A great defensive back plays the ball. You want to know where that receiver is, but that's all based off of feel. Mm-hmm. You have to know they're in the vicinity of where you are. But you also have to be smart enough and conscious enough to say there's certain things that he does when that ball is coming. When his eyes get wide, the ball is coming. When his hands go up like this, the ball is coming. Learn their tendencies. Like the study you do as a defensive player, especially as a defensive back, is learning tendencies of the receivers. Chad Johnson used to get shut down by Darrelle Revis all the time. And Revis told him, every time you was getting the ball, you took your right glove twice. I watched that. That tells you how much attention to detail that he was paying because it automatically says to him, hey, this is what's going on. So while you may think it's nothing, I saw that. Now I know how to play you because I know the ball's coming your way. Any other time, I can relax. You're not getting it anyway.
And the best way I can describe it, you guys, is this, because I play defensive back, and I'll simplify it to what Dion was saying. So I'm playing the receiver. The one thing in my head when I know I'm running with the receiver, I got him hip to hip, and once I know I got him hip to hip, you get that feel where the receiver is at. So for me, I knew where the receiver is at, so I was able to locate the ball. So I could either put my hands in front or shorten it up, wherever the ball may land. But I had that feel for the receiver where he was at because I trusted my technique.
It's always the technique that you got to trust on, especially when you're playing DB. You got to stay on your man, like you said, and you got to stay locked and tight. Can't let them loose.
And that's one thing that was upsetting me by Avery Thomas. I mean, he literally reminded me of that awful DB we had, Antonio Langham. He literally reminded me of that.
Yay.
No, we drafted him. I believe we drafted him like a long time ago. But he was from Oklahoma. Was it Oklahoma State or something? Or no, that was a different.
Something like that. I mean, he
I got the Kinlaw sack if y'all want to see it.
Oh yeah, show it, bro. Let's show it. Want me to just put you in the front, or you want to just send it on the private chat? Or how does that work?
Yeah, just put me up front. I'm gonna share it right now.
Put it up front. Okay. Yeah. All right, Dion's gonna show us the Kinlaw sack, and we'll put the details on how he did it.
So look at that, stutter step, boom. They're gonna bring you another angle for this. Right after this, you'll see him.
Deanna, I don't see anything but you.
I only see you.
You're frozen.
I hit
now you're moving. Sorry.
We don't see nothing.
Okay.
We only
Right.
see you.
Oh, you know what? That's because I'm an idiot and I didn't put this in there. Hold on. Sorry about that.
It's all good, man.
Hold up. Why didn't it share it? Hold on one second. Let me see.
And while
Share
you're working on that, Dion, what you guys think of Brock Purdy?
Purdy Bird? I think he's all right.
I think Brock Purdy had some Purdy passes out there, man. You know, he can
Like
swing
those
a little something.
2-point conversion guy, Mr. 2-point conversion.
That was impressive, the 2-point conversion.
And 2 straight preseasons, yeah. Like you've seen those plays, like the one to Keyshawn where he got the 2-point conversion.
First one
and
with Keyshawn Johnson was like really tight, and it was right on the ball.
And believe me, CG and everybody, when you get the ball zipped by your helmet ear, it zips by you into the receiver's hand. You'll be like, "What the actual fuck did that come from?"
Yeah, it's like that arm where he just throws them in tight windows and just makes that at nothing. Because usually quarterbacks have to have that. Oh, okay, he shared it.
Yeah, I gave it to you in the private chat. It's just probably easier for you to share it because it doesn't allow me to share my screen.
Wait, how do I?
Yeah, I'm not sure how you drop that in.
Sometimes you can open it up in a separate window and do share on your computer, and then it'll show your computer screen.
I think he's going out and coming back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Purdy was all right. You know, I mean, he did a fairly good job. You know, I mean, you can't expect much out of him. I expect Purdy to be the practice squad QB.
It got me out, but okay, we can look into the Kinlaw film part when we upload a couple of those ones. I could just upload on Twitter, man. Yeah. But you want to see some good Spencer Buford plays or nah?
Oh
yes.
I was going to ask you about that.
I was gonna just ask.
Oh, you're gonna ask me about that? Okay, Moses, you go first, and then Melissa, you go next. Or you can go, Melissa. Yeah, go, Melissa. You're.
I was just gonna ask real quick which of the first 2 Sam Womack INTs was more impressive to you? Because the one that more impressive to me was the one where he fought with the ball all the way to the whistle blew. They said that's what they've been preaching in practice ever since our linebacker coach came back from his cancer battle. They said that they're keeping a track of punch-outs, turnovers, INTs in practice, and they're telling them to fight until the whistle blows. Do not give up on the ball.
That one was a good play because that one was effort.
The second interception was more impressive because to me that showed a proper technique on what to do. Not only you're locked on your man, but you actually turn around and locate the ball, and that's exactly what it did. So I think the second one because of technique.
Okay.
Yeah, technique does come a long ways when you got the awareness, but that second effort is what I like the most. Like the way Melissa said it best, like the play seemed like it was going to be dead, but he kept fighting for that ball. And then once he got the ball, nobody wasn't sure if it was an interception. Then when it got overturned, it was a good play.
Yeah, I mean, you could pick either or, but I don't know, because I'm a technique kind of guy, I'm very detailed. I like the second one.
Hey.
I mean, there's no wrong answer. I was just curious what you guys thought. That's why I asked.
Yeah, Womack, hey, whatever interceptions he's getting, that got picked from the get as my slot corner starting slot guy. He's gonna take away all these great slot receivers in the NFL, man. Can't wait till he locks down Hunter Renfrow from the Raiders too, man. That's gonna be sweet.
Who also was good at play the nickel? Deommodore Lenoir was really impressive versus the Vikings.
He did pretty good. I'll give him that. And then the Viking game was another one also, but when he did the Packers, it was solid.
Oh no! Before you came on, Melissa, Antonio was over here letting everybody know who picked Womack. I picked Womack. Nobody else did. None of y'all. It was all me.
Actually, you picked Lenoir.
With him.
No, not me.
No.
You took Lenoir.
Technically, when we were all asked to pick one, I copped up by trying to say it was going to be Womack or Denard, and then it ended up Denard's being cut and Womack. But we were all kind of called out for that because we didn't say, what was it, Knight?
Well,
No,
I
that was
Knight was
Moses that
I told
called
you.
out.
I told you.
Trolled on Twitter over. Not one of us called
Nobody
Hunter's Knight,
wanna
and y'all
take
got
it
trolled on
serious.
Twitter for it.
Nobody wants to
Nobody
trust.
wanted.
Believe me, I told you so. I
Nobody
know
wanted to believe me.
DBs.
I told you so on that.
I take your word, man, but I had to pick some underdog. I know Lenore gets all the hype. I get it. Yeah, Lenore, he's behind the trail. He needs to stay on his hips. He needs to do this.
I just remember what I said for that, so I'm not calling anyone out.
Good. I mean, I like your critique, man. You know your stuff. I'm just giving you a hard time for that. But yeah, Knight did look pretty good. Like I'm thinking he can start at the maybe he can start in for Jimmy Ward. Maybe we'll see.
They're not gonna do that.
Maybe.
Ward will be good by week 1. Like I'm pretty sure they're just keeping him out. Like whenever you have guys that have certain injuries, but they know what's going on, you pretty much leave them alone. They don't really need the practice. Jimmy Ward knows the system. He doesn't need the practice.
He just got it on his head already. So it's like, why even?
Daniel. Yeah, exactly.
And
Right. Look at him, kid. Antonio with AI on us. Practice. And then, like even Brunskill. Like look at it like this. And this, look, I don't wish injury on anyone, especially a 49er player. But you know the beauty of Daniel Brunskill not being able to come in and fuck with the center position? It means
Brandon is finally left alone.
It was gonna be.
Thank
The
you.
line
He will
literally,
miss time.
the line literally now is Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Spencer Burford, and Mike McGlinchey.
Well,
That's literally our line.
McGlinchey's
So we
not
got the
practicing
triple-
right now because of the hamstring. So
Well, no,
McGlinchey.
he has a little knee tendonitis, but yes, it does have something to do with the hamstring that tore off the bone. But the thing is he'll most likely be ready for week 1. They're probably not going to play him in this last preseason game. It doesn't make sense. You just continue to let the guy rehab. You'll get him in a couple of practices. He'll be fine. He understands the system as well. Any new wrinkles that they put in can't be so much where it's overwhelming to a point where McGlinchey is going to be out there like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. He's going to be fine.
So let me ask you this, Dion. What was the purpose of signing Gibson for? Was it just because of Jimmy Ward's injury or something?
Yeah, it's just to have another body.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think he makes the squad unless he does some spectacularly crazy shit in this next preseason game. A lot of these people were camp bodies. Like right when we signed Robert Kimdichie, I didn't think he was going to last. And look at
I
him.
thought he would make the team.
And look at him. What happened?
didn't he have 2 fights in camp, and they said that was like a big red flag no, like they didn't want any kind of stupid fighting.
They mainly said that the reason for Kimdichie being released is because he doesn't listen. Like he wants to do what he wants to do. And you're going 100 miles an hour the whole time at practice. You need to relax. Like you got to remember it's not that serious. And I remember a certain 49er great doing the same thing and having to be calmed down because it was practice, i.e. Willis. They said that Willis was going like 100 miles an hour.
No. It was Frank Gore, and Patrick Willis called him out, and he's like, dude, you know these guys are not allowed to touch you, and you're going like full on against all these young kids.
And then on top of that, Willis played the Pro Bowl like he was playing the regular. And they were like, everybody out there was like, bro, man, like this, we treat this like the All-Star game in basketball. We just let things happen. And Willis was like, nah, motherfucker, I want to win. Because when you play in the Pro Bowl, you get money. And if you win, you get a certain amount. And if you lose, you get a certain amount. Obviously, the loser gets less. So,
Yeah, they do.
You know, and you know, with the way the Pro Bowl's been looking over the past couple of years, they're probably going to wind up eliminating it because nobody even fucking tries. Like, that's
boring.
Not a real game. It's boring. Like, I'd rather just see. If that's the case, you know what I would rather see?
Might as well have a flag football damn tournament. I mean, flag football type of game.
Nope. Skills competition. Bring that back.
They have brought back this.
Bring back fastest man in the NFL. Bring
the world's strongest man.
You know, like, do those things because that's more entertaining. Because I can tell you right now, I would love this. I really would. I would love for Raheem Mostert to just beat the brakes off of Tyreek Hill in the 40th.
Yo, that was like
Hey,
my favorite thing on Twitter for like 2 weeks straight. Him just like freaking out. He's like, dude, you ran faster than me. I didn't think anyone was faster than me. I was like, you do realize it wasn't just Raheem Mostert that ran faster than you. Matt Breida was being called a cheetah and was faster than you.
Matt Breida was faster than him.
Matt Breida the cheetah.
And he's with the Giants.
I told people years ago that Tyreek Hill was not as fast. That Tyreek Hill has natural, God-given speed.
But he got beat by T.O. in a race.
No, he actually did not because he gave T.O. 10 yards.
Oh, he did? Okay. That's what I remember.
Yeah, he gave T.O. 10 yards. That's
Yeah,
all. I think honestly, I'm going to say this. I don't think T.O. loses by a lot, but he doesn't win that race.
You know what Tyreek Hill kind of reminds me of? He kind of reminds me of Cam Newton back in his heyday. Like they literally just like played off their God-given talent.
And they're cocky and arrogant. I get that part too.
Hey, I would want to see.
I was going there, but it was kind of implied.
Hey, I was gonna say, I would want to see like a 40-yard dash for like offensive linemen, man. Trent Williams will win that. That boy's athletic.
Trent will win it like easy.
I'm gonna tell you right,
I want to see world's strongest man. What
about Jason Poe?
Oh yeah,
oh dude, I want to see them do like a wrestling match, arm wrestling match, something.
Trent Williams having like a charity event race would be awesome to watch.
Or pull the rope.
I can tell you right now, don't nobody want smoke with Trent Williams in the arm wrestling. Have you ever seen his arms?
Big.
They look like hands on forearm.
You should see that documentary just to see his workout, if nothing else. Like,
he's
the things he does in that workout is
big to be as athletic as he is. Like literally, man, there's things that he's doing he should not be able to do at that height and that size.
315 pounds of
trainer deserves props because he works like really hard to keep Trent like flexible and from getting soft tissue injuries. And that's what's really impressive about Buford and Poe is like these guys just came in, they didn't even need prompting, and they went down to Texas and worked out with him.
Hey, I'd love to see
that speaks a lot.
Trent Williams and Javon Kinlaw, that'd be amazing right there.
Oh what?
Man.
Williams is gonna win that arm wrestling. Sorry to say it, man.
Trent Williams versus Javon Kinlaw?
Nah, Williams gonna win that.
I'm gonna tell you. You know what? I'm gonna tell you.
I'm gonna take the silverback.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm taking the silverback, and you know why? All it takes is just to get into Kinlaw's head. It just takes
mentally.
He unfortunately he hasn't grown, and this is no fault to him. He has to grow into understanding how not to let things affect him, because what happens is the prime example I can use is the Grant Cohn situation.
Yeah, that was the funniest interview I've ever seen on my life, bro.
The way he acted was that of a kid.
Brian Lee type interview.
Yeah, an adult would have pulled that man to the side and not had a conversation on social media. But he acted in the mind of a child because not a child, but I'm saying like a teenager, because he reacted the way he is. Like he's just standing there every time Grant Cohn, you a bitch, like consistently doing that. Like you need to talk to this man one-on-one on the side and be like, hey, look, homie, I didn't appreciate what you did. I didn't like what you said about me. I don't like your comments. Don't play stupid with me either. And act like you don't know what you said and how you were dogging me all season, calling me a bust and saying all these negative things about me. And at the end of the day, because you are who you are, you have pull. Teams watch your show. So you're basically putting me in a bind. You're trying to take food out of my mouth and out of my family's mouth. And where I come from, we don't tolerate that lightly. So
see, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, I think it was a long time coming. I mean, you got
sometimes they all deserve
you got Armstead, you got Jimmy Ward, you got McGlinchey, you got like everybody on the lines that have been trolled by this guy. And
Jimmy Ward's cool with him.
No, Jimmy Ward has no problem with him.
Before he did the interview on Grant's show.
Yeah.
Like these guys are all targeted by Grant Cohn. They'd be like the topic like for a month of just hate videos on every mistake, any slight. we always got the Buckner Kinlaw performances. That like they brought up his injury past, the he can stay healthy thing. Like he fanned the flames for a lot of fans just to incite them and make them really negative and really hate on this kid. And like I think it was just bound to happen that one of them ended up snapping. And like my only issue with that interview was that he used a racial slur to yell at Grant Cohen. Like I don't abide by that at all. My mother's Spanish, and I was called what a lot of Spanish people were when I was really young, and that really traumatized me. So I don't hold with that. But other than that, like at the end of the day, it had to happen. I don't really watch Grant Cohen, so I don't know if it's affected him or not. But it's funny when you see Pat McAfee like laughing his ass off with AJ Hawk.
I barely watch him.
Kinlaw is coming, and I think he had Steph's video up, and he's showing him with like the 6-pack and everything, walking off the field, and he's just like, "Dude, they just want to Grant Cohen this like troll that all the Niner fans know." And
you know what was even funnier?
Brandon put it everywhere for everyone to watch.
What about Pat McAfee when he threw that shit up? It was the funniest fucking catch line. I mean, the line did.
Yeah, he killed Greg Cohen on that one.
Hey, let me show the video. I think that I got it right here. Man, this shit cracked me up when he said that shit. He talked about this guy's freaking Jack, and then he threw the punchline on Grant Cohen. Man, that shit was the funniest one I've ever seen. Watch this, man. This one cracked me up. Like, I was laughing my ass off when that. And then the funny part is, Grant Cohen goes on Twitter and calls him mouth breeder.
Oh, yeah.
That shit cracked me up. Like, watch.
Javon Kinlaw, the San Francisco 49ers, a fucking monster. Got a good video of him walking off the practice field, I assume in Minnesota, shirtless. He was the man that got in a fight with that bum-ass reporter, Grant Cohen. And Grant Cohen, obviously 4'2". This dude is a freak.
Yeah. Holy shit.
How cool would that be, AJ?
Good luck blocking him. Are you serious?
How much fun would that be? And, you know, he is on record as stating that a reporter who talked massive amounts of shit about him said that when he walked up on him, he was cold as ice, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I can see why, by the way. I don't know if there's many people that aren't cold as ice as soon as they see Javon Kinlaw. He's moving up in my rankings of greatest athletes on earth. Just from that one walk-off video, it's great to see. Absolute dog.
Hey,
oh man, that shit cracked me up, man. He's cold as ice, motherfucker.
Hey, you heard what he said? He's one of the greatest athletes walking. That's why I said him versus Trent Williams would be a freaking good arm wrestling match. I'm trying to tell you guys.
Absolutely, Gina.
You know, like
no, but it was funny, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, what do you think about the offensive line?
Oh, the offensive line? What I think of the offensive line? Yeah. I just think the center position is probably the only weakest part, and then McGlinchey, if McGlinchey can step up. I mean,
McGlinchey's horrible.
Yeah, we all understand he's great at run blocking. He's not that great at pass blocking. So if you have if we were able to do a rotation at the right tackle when we knew somebody was running and passing, we would be able to do that. But the thing is people would catch on to that and automatically sniff it out, and then they would know. But the line right now, as it stands, the issue that I see is us gelling properly because they haven't played together. Trent Williams ain't played a single preseason game. Whenever the line has been constructed, it's always been a rotation of players. You know, the only person that's been a mainstay was Jake Brendel and probably Aaron Banks.
And Buford.
Yeah, and Buford, and they only put Buford in because they wanted to give him that work because they're trying to see what Daniel Brunskill can bring at center, which he can't bring shit because he sucks at center. He plays every other position on the line. I trust Daniel Brunskill at left guard, left tackle, right tackle. I don't trust his ass at center.
No.
He doesn't do well. It's just not a good look, and it always winds up frustrating everybody because look at what happened when he was at center during training camp. How many snaps did he fumble? How many things did he mess up? So it's like, at the end of the day, Kyle, you need to remember, if it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it.
And you also can't call out the different protections that a center needs to do. Kyle Juszczyk had to do for him in 2020 because he literally couldn't pick up on the terminology or reading the defenses with his head that far down to snap the ball.
It's going to be a beautiful thing. Our offensive line is going to be solid once they gel properly. I do think that it will take a few games for that to happen. And, and that's understandable. The beauty of it is we have a quarterback who is able to be athletic and get outside the pocket and make things happen if it collapses around him. But the other thing that we have along with that is Trey Lance looks to throw before he runs. And people haven't noticed that yet. He truthfully wants to.
I think a lot of people picked that up on that little 7-yard run that he had where he went into the baseball slide. Like
slid for the first
scanned
time.
the entire field, then he went and ran to, I think, the right side, stopped, scanned the field again like twice, and then he took off for 7 yards.
And he could have went a little more and then slide.
Yeah, but no.
He said it in his presser. He said, I know my value to this team. I'm not risking anything. I'm not risking injury. I'm not risking availability. I'm not getting nicked up. I'm not getting a finger or anything hurt again. Like that coming from a 22-year-old quarterback, like knowing exactly what is needed of him, not just like physically, but to mentally and physically take care of himself and come out and say that. That's why he did what he did. I don't understand Jimmy fans right now. Like, how can you still hate on Trey Lance?
Now they're just writing on Nate Sudfeld and Brock Purdy now. That's all you see. I mean, they know Jimmy's done, so they're going to write on freaking Nate Sudfeld's water nuts, and then they're going to write on Brock Purdy Bird mixture of relevance nuts now because they don't like Trey Lance.
Pay attention to what Jed York said, though. He had in mind that he wants to keep Jimmy. Keep that in mind.
We know he's lying.
And I have to agree with CG 150%. Jed York is
a moron.
When not to speak. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no business.
For being an owner, but there are times where we don't need you to say nothing. We just need you to be the owner. This is one of those times.
I think they're
and
saying,
he's a child. And
I think they're saying stuff like that to try to see if they can force a trade right before.
But you're not. But the thing is,
nobody is going to trade for him.
Nobody wants him. Who wants to pay $24 million?
The Browns have an 11-game suspension. They're not going to jump, and they're the last team that would have the cap room and the desperation to prove that they're at the top of their division to stay in it. So if the Cleveland Browns aren't going to jump, no one's going to jump for a trade. That doesn't mean that he won't be signed or there won't be a battle after he's cut to sign him. But everyone knows that for 4 years now, you've been trying to get rid of this guy. So
yeah, and the sad part about the Browns, even at this point, they're more confident with Jacoby Brissett at this point than having Jimmy at this point because they know Watson will be back.
They still have Rosen on their roster as well. They
just signed him
right before both the 6 and the 11 games came down.
They do.
How many scrub quarterbacks they're going to sign? A lot of these teams don't even want to take a chance on Jimmy.
Here's the thing I'll tell you, and this is where the facts are going to come in. So if I'm Jacoby Brissett and you bring in Jimmy Garoppolo, I want out. I honestly do.
Yeah, I agree.
You are not about to make me a backup to this dude. The dude basically replaced on a last second notice because he wanted to cry about a fucking hangnail or something stupid like that. No, you're not about to put me behind this asshole, and you're gonna sit here and ride his coattails. And then to top it all off, if he gets injured in this present span of time, I'm gonna have to come in and save his ass again. Fuck that, I want out. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there are some, not all, I'm gonna say some. Some of the Cleveland Browns fans are straight up ass.
I agree.
A sign that said, fuck them hoes, give me Watson.
Whoa.
Somebody needs to get my ass on the side.
I know
that's stepping it over right there. But did you see
here's my number one thing about this. I look at it from several different standpoints. I will say this to start my point off. I'm black, so I'm not throwing Deshaun Watson in the fucking trash. You know why? Because every other race don't throw their people in the trash when they fuck up and do something stupid. So why the hell should I? And I get tired of watching other people and other races sit up there and continue to hold these people in high regard and continue to, you know what I'm saying, at least talk about them in a polite way. Whereas with us, we just fall in line with the media and everybody else, and we throw everybody away like they're trash. I'm not going to say that Deshaun Watson's trash. Does he have a problem? Yeah. Does he need to get help? Yes. What he's doing can be fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to be a smarter person about it. But here's my take on that. You don't want to say that these women don't matter, because that's not cool. Don't do that. I do honestly believe they all had a fucking choice. I don't give a damn how much money you're being paid. If somebody's doing some shit like that, walk the fuck out. Leave. Don't stand there. And then don't sit up there and say, I didn't have a choice. Yes, you did. There was not a gun being held to your head. There was not a knife at your throat. You have the option to look and go, either put your goddamn clothes back on or I'm out this motherfucker. I'm sorry. That's just part of my take on that. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Everybody is an adult. You are grown. You make your decisions on your own. I don't care what the situation is like. You need to be strong enough to say no. Second thing, the civil suits, don't admit guilt, people. Civil suits are about what? Money. That's exactly all a civil suit comes down to at the end of the day. When O.J. Simpson got off, you know what they did? Civil suit. Why? To get money. Because they couldn't get a conviction, so they figured, I can't get a conviction, the next thing is bread. But me saying that they have a choice and them not making that decision and staying there and dealing with that, that's just me saying you had a choice. I'm not trying to victim shame nobody. But for you to put a sign up and say, fuck them hoes, give me a massage, bro, that's not cool, man.
That's weak right there.
I have a question for you guys. I'm not defending the Browns fans. Dion is like the one person who knows, like, I've followed out a specific Brown fan for all his horrible takes on this situation, and that I'm deeply troubled by what happened. But I can't help but wonder if this is a retaliation for the "you sick fuck" chant that happened in the Jaguars game, and how it became like a national media thing where people were laughing about it.
Wait, who said that happened at the Jacksonville?
Jacksonville, the preseason 1 game, the entire crowd, when Deshaun Watson came on the field, they would scream, "You sick fuck, you sick fuck, you sick fuck, you sick fuck." It became like a thing on ESPN and on NBC, CBS, Fox.
They're trying to be like Eagle fans.
I think NFL Network is like the only one that probably didn't cover the chant itself.
Wow.
But yeah, the entire fan base in Jacksonville, the entire game screamed those 3 words at him the entire time.
Can do that. And if that's retaliation for that,
in my head, that's the only way that makes sense. Like, I understand it's not the first person that had severe off the field issues that the Browns have. They currently still have Kareem Hunt.
He had his issues too.
The way you're describing the fans having the posters now, like, I don't think they had posters before, and I don't think that they really wanted to talk about this. Like, it was the fans that were like, we're just grateful to finally get past Baker and to maybe have some like hope at the quarterback position, like we were when we finally got off Jimmy. But to me, that sounds kind of like a retribution thing, because your football team that you're loyal to, that you had an 0-16 parade for, is being flayed, and they're saying that Browns fans should be ashamed that they're rooting for him or wanting him to prosper. I think it's that kind of mentality, like, we're gonna band together and everybody else can go fuck off, and we're just gonna stand by whoever is with us. So
see, I'm gonna stand by him.
I don't want to give them the step, but that's what that kind of screams to me.
I can stand by somebody, but I can't stand by you like that. I'm not gonna sit up there and call those females.
I'm not justifying. Anything.
I know you're not. I'm just saying, like, as far as that, like, that, and that's the thing. The Cleveland Browns owner said it best. This is supposed to be the land of second chances.
Yep.
With Kareem, we gave him a second chance. Why shouldn't Deshaun get one? Everyone talks. See, the the society we live in will tell you that prison is a rehabilitation center.
Yeah.
You're supposed to rehabilitate yourself, pay your debt to society, and everything will be okay. When you come home, we'll give you a second chance. But all I can get is a fucking security guard job after I've done time. You know why? Because I got to put on an application that I was convicted of something, no matter what it is.
Yeah, second chances are supposed to be like fair chances, but
Exactly. But you're telling me I got a second chance? That's a crock of shit. Because you basically took my chance away when I wound up going away. Now, if I did the crime and I did the time, then yes, I basically fucked myself. But don't tell me this is a second chance world when I can't even find a regular ass job to be able to try to move up and own my own shit. I have to literally start my own business to be able to be my own boss because I can't go in the regular route that everybody else would. Why? Because I messed up and that was taken from me by my own fault. But don't don't give me a farce or a fallacy that tells me that I'm going to have a second chance when I get out because it truthfully does not exist.
it's lies. Like they want to make themselves look good and they want to make up stuff, but at this point, dude, like we can go on with this debate for so long, bro. But it's already at the point where we're dying down. I'm pretty sure Moses was getting tired. I'm pretty sure Antonio was getting tired.
The other part about it is the hypocrisy because they keep saying if the Shield is the reason why all these guys like Hopkins and Calvin Ridley are all getting these huge suspensions because they embarrass the Shield, and yet this is like the one thing they don't want to at all like come down on. So for me, that's like the one thing that doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, you had Cowboys executives filming the cheerleaders in their own bathroom and locker room. You had Dan Snyder do the stuff that he did, and it's just like
he hasn't even been banned from the league.
We're the people that they crack down on.
You got to remember
really
that's
weird that it's always someone of color that they crack down on harder than the white offenders.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when you're a billionaire and you own a team, yeah, they ain't finna fire you. Because to tell you the truth, John Gruden was a fall guy. Because
I'll never understand why Roethlisberger got out 6 games and got it appealed down to 4.
Hey,
why did Brady not get a season suspension?
These things happen, man. But let's end on a happy note.
Yeah, that's on a good note, man. But let's get on the end note. But for Moses, what were you going to say? And then we'll end it on a high note, man.
I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
All right, y'all forgot what you're going to say. How about you put your intro and we're going to end on a high note, man. You get the solo, Moses.
All right. All right, this is OG 49er. You want to follow me on OG 49er 559. My message to the DBs is this. This Thursday, this is the moment of truth. This is what you put your pads on and go prove and why you deserve to be on the 49er roster. So this Thursday, I want to see something. I want to see all blood, guts, cover, lock your man down, run to the restroom with him, do whatever you got to do. But make sure you make an impression because this is the moment of truth. Show me what you got because I will be watching you.
Ooh, you got to watch out for OG Moses. And we got my boy Antonio with the solo. You can say what you want to say.
Yeah, man. Preseason's looking pretty good. We got a lot of talent. The lines, the defensive line got a bunch of monsters on it, man. Monsters of the Midway, but monsters of the Bay. I think Nick Bosa's going to have like 15 sacks. Drake Jackson will have like 10. Armstead and Kinlaw, they're going to have about 30 pressures, man. They're going to be pancaking people right back into the quarterback. That's going to be a beautiful thing to see. And once again, I said Womack would do great, and he's doing it. And he's going to be freaking balling out of control this year. He's going to have about 5 interceptions. He's going to be in the running for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Watch out. He's going to be a candidate. Not saying he's going to win. He's going to be a candidate.
Quintus Knight.
So yeah, hey, like and subscribe to my channel, 49er King 510 on YouTube and Facts Over Films podcast on YouTube. So yeah, y'all, thank you.
All right, and then we got Melissa.
Quintus Knight.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say it's been a joy being on this podcast with all of you. And if you guys have Amazon Prime and you're out of market like I am, because I'm in New Jersey, it's on Amazon Prime to watch this week. And let's go Niners.
Hell yeah. Oh, so we got Dion, last but not least, and the best in the business. We got Dion with the final say.
Hey, man, I got to echo my dog OG sentiments, man. DBs, I will be watching you. Continue to be great. Continue to intercept the ball. Continue to play press. Continue to make sure you're on their hip. Continue to be as great as you are. Give us everything you've got. I will continue to pay attention to that specific position. The only other thing I will say is, in this final preseason game, one of you wide receivers better show me something, and your name better not be Ray McLeod or Juwan Jennings. Anybody that's left on this roster that is a wide receiver better show up and show the fuck out. I need y'all to give me a great game. Make me believe you can be the sixth guy picked on this team outside of Willie Snead.
All right. But as always, CG Ruthless Sports and Niner Game Podcast and OG Moses and Antonio and Melissa is out. And we'll see you guys next week because it's going to be interesting. We got the final preseason to recap after this. So we'll see y'all later. Peace.